guys, I'm here today to do a flip through of these 5 Coates & Clark converted junk journals. These journals will be listed in my Etsy shop, 11 Dancing Dandelions, on Saturday, November 14th. And I'll do kind of a more detailed flip through and then maybe a faster flip through of the remaining 4 just to kind of keep it as short as possible. And I'll start with this one. So like I said, these journals started as a Coates & Clark pamphlet, and I just took them apart and backed them onto bookboard so that they would be hardcover journals. There's 3 signatures. This spine is about 1.25 inches wide, and they measure approximately 5.5 by 7.25. So we'll go ahead and take a look on the inside. There's some vintage fabric and trim along the side. This is actually my favorite color. I love these colors. I think that all of these journals lend themselves to Thanksgiving fall kind of vibes, but they're not heavily fall themed. On the front inside cover of this one, there's some vintage wallpaper, as well as on the back cover a lot of vintage playing cards and vintage postcards in these journals. Some of them I went ahead and decorated the library card pocket, and others I left for the future owner to do so themselves. So this one is blank, just some cardstock for writing and photo mounting. This is a vintage playing card and a vintage canceled checks. This one's from October 19th, 1951. And there are a few of those in each of the journals. I used a lot of magazine images back to cardstock and stitched around. I just love the vintage fashion. This is a date from a vintage date book. This is a seal and send and some gold foiling. This is an image from a 5-ring binder gardening book, I believe. This is another Revlon inner office memorandum here. A vintage ticket. Lots of writing space. I love this lace, the coloring. There's a bridge tally card, or I'm sorry, a scorecard, recipe card, a vintage label, and a vintage playing card. This is some vintage fabric and more of that trim that was on the cover. This is a true vintage photograph and a recipe card. These are from the Tim Holtz collection, and then this is a postcard. Another vintage postcard. A recipe card. A Simplicity pattern counter catalog lady. An image from a magazine, and another vintage postcard. I love this layout here because of her dress. I love her dress and the fact that this fabric and that paper goes so well with it. And an alterations card in the back, another check, and a playing card clipped on here. I tried to clip a lot of things onto the pages so that you can take everything out and kind of do what you want. If you take the things out in the pockets, it won't be as chunky as well. Just a little memo card and a phone memo. These pockets, I've stitched the fabric. This is a vintage envelope from 1940, and I opened it up and made it a page in the book. This is from a vintage guest book. Vintage address book. These are some journaling cards, some fabric. And two more over on this side. A lot of trims. This is a vintage playing card. And this is a vintage telegram from 1969, Western Union. I'm not sure if it's the whole telegram or part of it, but it's a fun little piece of vintage ephemera. It's the only one I have, so only this journal will have this one included. And here's a Western Union telegram blank. I'm not exactly sure the date of this. The paper is very brittle, so I would maybe recommend making journaling cards or using it to collage with. I love this pattern and the color combination for this time frame. It's a Hallmark greeting card. I don't know if the greeting card is vintage or not. I'm not sure, but it kind of lends itself to that kind of decor. Postcard. This one's in a different language. Oops. A magazine image. There's handwritten recipes in each of them. This is fabric and a memo sheet. And this is a replica. I think it was maybe made by Graphics 45, although I'm not 100% certain. This is a vintage sandwich bag, like a wax sandwich bag, glassine. Playing card, matchbox, recipe, and scrapbook paper. Oh, it's upside down. This was part of the scrapbook paper pack. This is a catalog card and another postcard. This one has writing on the back. It's in pencil, so you could erase it or just back it with some new coffee stained paper or something like that. Typewriter paper. Just some collage decor on the side. This is from a vintage travel journal. The page. You could, journal anything on that. This is just some writing paper and a tag. And a Project Life card. This is another vintage postcard. Also written in pencil. This image was from a wallpaper advertisement. A tally card, a little tag, and another handwritten recipe. This one's for a fudge. This is one of my favorite playing cards. It's of the pinup age, but it's tasteful, and I just love the coloring. I love everything about that that playing card. I only have a few of those. This is not authentic vintage. This is, I believe, from a Tim Holtz pack. Another image from a magazine. And this, I believe, was from the original Coates and Clark book. Another fabric pocket. And some playing cards and another tag. This is the other half of the sandwich bag. And postcard with a paper and a little memo note. I believe this was from the original magazine also. It was a crocheted bottle holder. This is a Denison label, post-it note, a tag from the sewing pattern catalog, and a bingo card. This is just some saving stamps I placed in the back here. This is the other wallpaper pocket. This is some scrapbook paper and another receipt and a playing card. Go on to the next one, and like I said, I'll try to go a little bit faster through these and not talk so much. This one is a decorated library pocket. This is a little fabric flower that I made with a button. I love the trim on this one. It's fun. But I really will try not to talk so much, and then I'll go faster. Vintage postcard. I'm not sure why my light went out here. Just one second. This is a handwritten recipe that I turned into a pocket and a vintage photograph. This one you can tell is not in the best of condition, but this is how I found it. It doesn't have a date on it. This was from a desk calendar, and if you did want to use this for a Thanksgiving journal, it's neat because it has that it was Thanksgiving Day of 1961. So it's kind of a fun piece. I love this eyelet. lots of writing room and space for you to decorate the journal how you'd like. This is a greeting card that opens up into 4. I'll just stick it up and show you. It opens up with lots of writing space. Another postcard and a magazine image. This is a double pocket here, fabric. This is a printable from 15 Acres, and I'll leave in the description box the 2 places that I used printables from, but there were very few printables that I used in these journals. The other one was for the tags. I believe it was retro wall decor or designs, retro wall designs. This is a printable. But I'll leave a link, or I'll leave it in the description. This is some vintage stationery. From a vintage magazine. And this is vintage wallpaper. Western Union telegram. Some stationery. And this is from a Tim Holtz kit. This is also from the Tim Holtz. That's not a true authentic postcard. A little tag with a brad. And a fabric pocket with a collage. Some buttons and trim. And that's the end of that one. This is the 3rd book. This one has really plain on the front so that you can completely customize it. Each of them will also come with a packet, a vellum envelope of goodies, just extras. There's another seal and send. There's some vintage wallpaper to play with. Just maybe collage or make some tags, that sort of thing. But this one, I wanted to have some options where I left some of the pages more plain so that you could do what you'd like. This is another vintage photograph. And a tag with some fabric. This is some more vintage wallpaper and another vintage envelope. Some scrapbook paper here behind here and an applique. This is an authentic vintage label. Wacky cake recipe. Another tag and a fabric pocket. Fun scene from a, looks like maybe a formal living room. Another label and milk cap. This is the greeting card, and it opens up from a pocket. It's a really pretty postcard. I love that rose color. This is just tipped in, so it flips out. This one I used the engagement as a pocket. And here's another vintage photograph. All the children are numbered. This is a chocolate milk cap and some journaling cards. This is a post-it note. This one I put the stickers, travel the world over to find the beautiful, and she's got her luggage. Another fabric pocket. This is an empty seed packet for lettuce. More postcards, another envelope. This one has several handwritten recipes. Tipsy apple pie. I thought about copying some of those recipes on some of them, but never got around to it. And these I just placed in the back for extras again. Okay, book number 4. Another one with a decorated library card pocket. So if you are interested in purchasing these, then I think that there will be enough pictures on the Etsy listing to kind of be able to distinguish them. Handwritten recipe card and a postcard. This one's dated 1912. This is a seal and send. It's just attached with a paper clip. This Western Union telegram, I did fold it over and attach it to a flap. So it is part of the page, or it is a page in the book. I love how all these colors go together, look well together. These were out of the pockets because I did do a flip through of these on my Instagram also. Handwritten recipe and a little tag that I made. There's one in here. And there's a tuck on the side here as well for a journaling card. This is a vintage Denison label. Another post-it note. Journaling card. That greeting card. I canceled check. This is a wallpaper belly band. An empty beet seed packet. Another receipt, and this is a little Tim Holtz ephemera. Vintage tally, some ledger. This is vintage wallpaper, journaling cards, and that's a little index. This is a very pretty applique. Another fabric pocket, an old button card. Not sure how old, but it was 50 cents and made in Japan. So those are some pretty old buttons. One is missing. Another handwritten recipe. Not sure what that says. Something date tart. There's some nice pretty writing on it. Another recipe, journaling card. These ladies from a fashion magazine. And these are just some fall lamb recipes. Another vintage photograph. And that's the end of that one. So we have one more. I love that apron. This one again is not decorated on the front. And like I said, I'll try to go really quick. Some old music paper. This is handwritten music notes. This typewriter paper behind here. Vintage postcard. Journaling card and some buttons. This is kind of a multi-layer pocket here. This tips in, and then there's a vintage label pocket and another pocket here behind that one. Some things in it. This is such a cute picture. These were from the gardening, 5-ring gardening book, I believe. Better Homes and Garden. This one's an onion seed packet. This is the vintage photo for this one. And this is from a magazine image. Postcard. This envelope, it flips open like that, and then it has a pocket on the side. This is a Tim Holtz replica postcard, I believe. That's another replica postcard. All right, we made it. I tried to keep it under 30 minutes and I was not successful, but close. So again, each of these will come with a vellum envelope with some extras, and then I do put in some surprise extras with each of the journals, and they will be available in my Etsy shop, 11 Dancing Dandelions, on November 14th, this Saturday. Thank you so much for watching and hanging in there. And if you want to see more, if you like my style and you want to see more content and ideas and inspiration, or are looking to purchase journals, then subscribe to my channel and leave me comments below so that we can communicate. And thank you again. Have a good day. Bye.